It just... So when we talk about, and all they talk about Liverpool yesterday and their injury issues and how that team has not lost its identity, even so, that version of Chelsea, that version of Newcastle that we saw for the Chelsea second goal is in total contrast to everything we saw and praised of them last season. And that, for me, has been Newcastle's issue all season long.
Why has it changed?
Well, I wonder now if it all started to unravel with the injury to Nick Pope, right? Because it seemed to be a little domino effect from there. You know, then we saw injuries to Botman and Burn, and Trippier lost form, and this solid unit that they were able to give, this platform that they were able to give Gomares and Longstaff and Gordon and Isaacs and these Almiron and these players they've got, this rock-solid platform at the back has disintegrated. And it disintegrated with injuries and also lost of form. If you remember the Carabao Cup game, semi-final at Chelsea, when Trippier makes that mistake late on, which when Mudryk again scores, takes it to extra time and penalties. There was lots of those little incidents coming along that were not there when that back four was operating with Pope in there, and it was Burn, it was Botman, it was Schär, and it was Trippier. It was solid. And it seemed that one injury to Pope, although Dubravka's a very, very good goalkeeper, he was a number one, as Shaka said, in his own right for quite some time. I think it just set the ball rolling for a lack of confidence, then some injuries, then some mistakes, and it sort of weeded its way all the way through the team. And they just don't look, to me, to have the same intensity that they had when they were at their best. Simple as that.
Do you agree, Mario?
Yeah, I totally understand what Craig said. You know what happens sometimes with teams when the two competitions, right? Okay, the cup games, you know it's going to come up, but that Champions League stuff, guys, it's something that hits you hard. And I think sometimes people underestimate it because Newcastle is a team that is in development, kind of. You understand, building it to a successful journey. And Chelsea's clearly the same. But I'm just saying, like, it's a team that you know, it's a recent team that is maybe, you know, had the dip. But Newcastle is just doing it right now. And I think having so many competitions is really hard on the players because some of the players are either not used to it, and they have to understand that the Premier League, you want to play Champions League next season. And on the other part, you have that you want to do well in the Champions League while you're in it right now. And when they're out of it, okay, maybe they have more time on their hand. But you don't know if the players are physically up to speed in the sense of like, maybe they're already getting to the final stage of the season physically and energy-wise.
We saw Mudryk's goal, obviously, which actually proved to be the winner.
Yeah, mark this date. Composure.
You've been really critical of Mudryk, obviously, looking at the price tag and what he's delivered.
Not the only one at Chelsea, but he has been for the price and the talent level that he has. His end product, and it's all about end product. You know, it's all about what you do in the final third, not what you do in the middle of the park. And as a general rule of thumb, his end product has been pretty poor. In fact, it's been quite laughable. So, but I do think he has got a talent. Right. I mean, he's blessed with great pace. He's got good feet. He has got. It could be at some point good enough. Whether it's going to be, I doubt whether it'll be at Chelsea long term. But I think he is a good player. But he's another one of those. And I think when we talk about players that need to slow down in the final third, maybe Luis Diaz yesterday, Stevie touched upon, Darwin Núñez. This guy's way worse than that. He's way worse than that. You know, he really has. And that goal he scored against Newcastle was a prime example of not panicking. Was taking a couple of good touches, was seeing what's around the goalkeeper and dropping the shoulder. And if he can learn to do that, he's got half a chance.
Right.
And if he can't, he's got no chance. Not at this level. No chance.
A lot of new signings have struggled, of course, Mario, making that move to Stamford Bridge. Cole Palmer, very much the exception, of course. A goal and assist for him today.
No, look, Cole Palmer, you know, the situation also for him was really tricky, right? Because it wasn't his first thing. He wanted to play more when he was at City. And then coming over to Chelsea, it wasn't like in the first initial, it wasn't like I want to move 100%. And then the deal goes through. He's 100% a Chelsea player. But his confidence was at the right place. Because if you look at the team, he comes into a team that is not that confident. Okay, the guys maybe came in and some maybe have a certain belief, but the way he is playing and the way it's almost like sometimes you play football in you see a footballer in your team, he has no fear, and I think Palmer is playing like that. He has no fear, doesn't think about anything. His confidence is that well that he picks the ball up anywhere he wants, and if he wants to dribble, he dribbles. If he wants to do something else, people believe in his ability, and I think that is one of the key things for him. That's why I think he's playing like that, and that's why he's scoring the goals, because that's what people want. And I think also when we, like how you tapped into what Craig said regarding Mudryk, Palmer is playing a different situation. Where he picks up the ball, he's dangerous. Mudryk, the difference between them two is that Mudryk sometimes picks the ball up and he goes back that far to pick it up that he had to run 40 yards before he can take someone on. While if he stands deeper, because I hated it when I had a winger against me that is really on my line, because as soon as the ball comes to him, he's one against one, he's running at me. But if the guy goes really deep and picks it up, it's the easiest job he's giving the defenders. So I think he has to work on that. Where do I pick up the ball to become more dangerous? And I think that's exactly what Palmer is doing right.